Yes, tonight. Jason, who do we got in the house with us tonight?
Hey, I'm excited about this.
Oh, I'm crazy. It's great.
Well, I know you're crazy. I've been around you for a long time.
Yeah, right off the bat.
Johnny Collier.
Johnny Collier, and the band is in the house.
Thank you much. Good to be here.
Johnny, it's so tickled to finally get to hear and see you in person after hearing nothing but great things about you from the Wild One, Brian the IT Guru. So it's nice to finally get to meet you and your band now in person. So let's kick off a tune. Let's get right to the music, and then let's get to find out about you and your sidekicks behind you.
All righty. This first song is called Honey for Hire. I was on my way to Nashville one morning and had a writing appointment with a friend of mine named Billy Lawson. And we went through a little town in Tennessee, and it was like 7:30, something like that. And a full rusted-out Ford van was sitting in front of the restaurant. Somebody took a paintbrush about the width of my hand and hand-painted freely honey and the number 4 higher on the side of that van. And I thought, hey, time I got to Nashville, I had it written. Sounds like this. I drive a pickup truck with a box on the back. Working for myself, nobody keeping track of where I go and who I talk to, or how long it takes me to do what I do. I'm a honey for hire, baby, I can work for you. Got a universal hammer, I can fix anything. From a leaky old faucet to a pretty little broken thing. No job is too tough, no job is too small. Whatever you need, I come running when you call. Hey, honey for hire, baby, I'll work for you. No matter what you need, no, I'm the one to call. If it takes all night, I really don't mind at all. I can mow your grass, I can change your flat tire, turn up your heat or put out your fire. I'm a honey for hire, baby, can I work for you? You know, I used to punch a clock working for the other man, before I realized what I could do with my 2 hands. I don't ask about the pay, I just get up and go. I've been doing pretty well from the benefits alone. Hey, honey for hire, baby, can I work for you? No matter what you need, no, I'm the one to call. If it takes all night, I really don't mind at all. I can mow your grass, I can change your flat tire, turn up the heat or put out your fire. I'm a honey for hire, honey, can I work for you? I'm a honey for hire, baby, can I work for you? Yes, I'm a honey for hire, honey, can I work for you? Oh, there must be something I can do. Thank you so much.
That's the way to kick off a show. Nice to have you on board with us, Johnny.
It's good to be here. I've come through this town different times over the years. It's great to be here and perform music for you.
Well, we're so glad. Again, after everything we heard about you. Now, let's just get to the serious part right off the bat. We are fortunate and lucky to have you with us.
I'm very lucky to be able to function, much less living, really, at this time.
On April 25th of 2019, and I actually thought it was a year or two before that, because I remember the Facebook post and everything that came up. I was stunned and shocked and horrified. And April 25th of 2019, Johnny went through a massive and severe, I'm going to probably mispronounce it, subarachnoidal hemorrhage. He had a ruptured brain hemorrhage. He had a brain aneurysm. A lot of people survive that. He spent 3 weeks in the hospital, UAB in Birmingham, 3 brain surgeries. He's got a list of medical conditions that they've done to him, stents. Most people don't survive that. And Johnny was probably one of the very few. I don't know what the percentage is, but you pulled through that and is rocking it.
It's very low percentage. Most people, the size of your little fingernail or your thumbnail is as big as it gets, but it's enough to kill you.
Right.
And mine was the size of a woman's fist in the center of my brain.
Wow.
And then the stroke happened because of the aneurysm, because it failed and it started bleeding out into the aneurysm.
Wow.
2 days before I went to the hospital, my head hurt so bad I couldn't open my eyes up and I couldn't speak and make any sense. I could say words, but it was nothing that I was thinking or wanted to say.
Right.
And but I was hurting so bad, and my wife said, "Do you want to go to the hospital?" And I just nodded my head yes. And so that's how we took off. But there wasn't anyone in the emergency room, which was very unusual. Most of the time, there's always at least 4 or 5 in there. Mm-hmm. This was a pretty good sized hospital, so there was nobody there. So they wheeled me back in there and X-rayed me, or was going to X-rays me. They said, let's do an MRI, and they found it, and they come right back out immediately. Said we need to transfer you to Birmingham to UAB,
Wow.
And so they didn't waste any time, and we were trying to argue, well, we just need an X-ray. They said, no, he's got a brain aneurysm, and the stroke is bleeding into it.
Wow.
So they put me on a helicopter immediately and flew me to Birmingham and stayed down there for 3 weeks, a little over 3 weeks, and they at first wasn't expecting me to survive, and then it was I wouldn't have been able to function if I had survived. And then they came back and was excited and rode the TV monitor in and said, look at all these neurons firing in his brain and all this. So they started getting excited, and they found out they couldn't go into my head from any direction because it was in the center of my brain. And so they went up through the groin area and run it up through the veins and made it up to my brain, and they filled it with silver wire and something else, and put a stent, a sleeve on the blood vessel for the stroke. And they had to wait, and it was staying in place, so they went back and done 2 more surgeries and got it all fixed, and here I am still with it,
What a cool story. So if people are out there listening and you have any of those kind of symptoms, don't wait. Go right now. You need to be taken care of. The chance of survival is stronger when you get it early.
Yes.
You went a day or so later, you wouldn't be around. You were lucky you got as long as you did, and you got there when you did. But it all worked out good. Probably, and again, your wife, Dallas, has probably said this before we went on air, because of your gift of music, probably helped save your life.
That's what the doctor said he'd only known one other man, and my doctor was 4th in the world on this kind of medical predicament, and the other man that he knew that had survived it was a mathematician.
Right.
And then my wife said, well, Johnny plays music. He said, well, music is math.
Yep.
And so we kind of pieced it all together, but it took me a few months to really get back together because I felt so bad, and I didn't go to sleep feeling good. I didn't wake up feeling good. I just felt bad. And finally one day I woke up and it's like, hey, I feel okay. And that lasted about 2.5, 3 hours, and I felt bad again, but
wow.
I knew that there was a chance for me.
Yep.
So then 3 or 4 days later I woke up again and I felt better again. So I thought maybe this is my turnaround. So,
yep.
And I finally picked up the guitar and figured out that I knew most of my material that I could still play and still sing. And I had like 7 or 8 songs that were just gone. I don't know where they went. It was new songs and old songs. But I had to relearn every word to them, but I was all right after that. So I just started piecing everything back together.
Well, it's truly an amazing story, and we had to make sure we shared that so people can realize that when you're feeling ill, don't waste time. Get to the doctor, get that checked out. and it helps if you got music in your system. So if you're thinking about taking music lessons, for Johnny, let's go out there and start taking lessons. So
Do it.
excellent. So Johnny, we're so glad that you pulled through that and finally get to meet you here. So
It's good to be here.
obviously you're from Alabama. Where are you from originally?
I grew up in the Boot Heel of Missouri.
Oh, Missouri.
Yeah, that's about 4.5 hours from Alabama. And I grew up and graduated high school, and I went out to Texas and worked construction and worked through the summer. And I had my daddy's brother was living in Alabama, and he was a big supervisor over a big factory and where they had the shop. We built semi-trailers and machinery and different things. And he had told me once, that nobody here can read a tape measure. If you can read a tape measure and ever decided to leave home, give me a call. So I called him, and he said, well, yeah. He said, when you coming? I said, tomorrow. So he said, hold on a minute. So we went back and talked to Dale McCann, his boss, and he said, sure, tell him to come on. We'll put him to work. And I didn't even know where Alabama was. I'd never been there, and I made it about halfway. And the second or third stop, they had a road map that had the tip end of the state of North Alabama on the picture of the map. Mm-hmm. And that's right where Florence, Alabama and Muscle Shoals were. So I knew I could make it there.
Yeah.
So I drove on and got there, and I called him, and he met me, and I liked it, so I stayed, Went to work as a welder and a fabricator, and we built several semi-trailers. We'd bring the tandems in and the steel beams, and we'd weld them up and, run the lights and put the floor and the sides and everything, just totally built by hand.
Wow.
And that's how I came to Alabama.
So tell about the start of music. Were you in Missouri starting music? Did it start in Texas, or did you wait until you get to Alabama?
Well, I started playing in Missouri.
Okay.
My uncle was a musician.
Okay.
He played guitar and a little bit of mandolin. And then a friend of mine, Ricky Davis, his dad, Ronnie Davis, played great guitar, played good fiddle, played piano, played 4 or 5 different instruments, and they had a juke joint or a beer joint, as we called them.
Yeah.
And so he found out one day I was at my uncle's junkyard, and Ronnie it was during the day, and he was wanting to play music and drink a little whiskey. So my uncle said, well, I can't play with you, Ronnie, but Johnny here, he can play guitar a little bit. He can. So Ronnie looked me up and down, and I think I was 12-year-old. And he said, well, do you know this chord? I said, yeah, you know that chord? No, well, I'll show it to you. So he sat there and he drank whiskey and showed me chords, and then we'd play songs. And that's really how I got started.
Wow.
And it just grew from there. And then Charlie Wheeling was a fiddle player, like the best around in our area from Arkansas and Missouri. And then my cousin was a banjo player. He was a really great player. So we formed a trio, and we would go to the fairs and the peach festivals, and we would be the entertainment at various times of the day or night, and then we would play private parties or whatnot. So that got me started into the business of music. And then when I came to Alabama, I didn't know anybody, so I started looking, and I found some numbers here in a music store and in a jam night there. So I got out and introduced myself and started to learn the scene and the people. And that's how I got started up in Alabama. And then, I don't know, a couple of years later, 3 or 4 years later, I started my own band, and I've never looked back. I just kept going.
That's cool. And it's cool that you came to another mecca of music, Muscle Shoals. To come up there, Florence, Muscle Shoals, Sheffield, the incredible amount of talent that came out of that place or has gone there to record is astounding. It's Nashville to me. It's the same as Nashville.
It was there still is a lot of musicians from that area. There's not a lot of music venues left there. There's a lot of musicians there.
Yeah.
And at the time when I moved there, I'm talking about October of '79.
Okay.
There was several. You could drive just a few minutes to the Tennessee line, and any part of the Tennessee line there was beer joints, for lack of a better word. And then you had recreations of the Opry, you know, where there was no alcohol sold, and
Right.
but people came and filled all of those areas, so you didn't have to look very hard to find a place to perform at.
Yeah.
So it was a great area. And then you had, you know, members of the Little Richard Band lived there, and Shenandoah, and all that. So I met them, and I played with the Little Richard Band guys, and done some with Shenandoah, and then went on to meet this, that, and I just grew my career as it went, as whoever I met, you know.
Well, you get the right spot to blossom in, too. It's good fertilizer down there. Whatever they're doing, what they say, whatever's in the water, it's worked. We've come across a lot of great musicians down there. So, Johnny, speaking of music, man, you are cranking the viewers on here. Let's go ahead and bust out another tune. Tell us a little bit about it and jump into it.
All right. This next song is, I wrote it, and it's called Love Me For Who I Am, and it is the title. I've got a new record out. And this is the title song off of that record. I'd tear down the sky for you. What others think, I don't give a damn. As long as I know that you would love me for who I am. Could you love me for who I am? If the money and the parties went away, it came to an end of our plans, would you have lots of good things to say about me? Could you love me for who I am? Would you love me for who I am? Yes, other lovers I've had a few, and when things were good, they held my hand. So forgive me when I ask you, would you love me for who I am? Could you love me for who I am? Yes, other lovers I've had a few, and when things were good, they held my hand. So forgive me when I ask you, could you love me for who I am? Could you love me for who I am? Oh, could you, girl?
Beautiful song.
Thank you very much.
That's from Johnny's new album. It's the same title. it's a great tune. Now let's see. It was released. Was it November of 2019? So not even a year yet.
Yeah, it came out and started playing right about the first of the year. We released it a tiny bit earlier than what we were going to, but people were in a hurry for it, and it had been a while.
Okay.
Since I'd had a new album, so we released it, and it's done very well for us.
Published by Muddy Water Publishing worldwide. The song that he sang is also the same title as the album, Love Me For Who I Am. How do they get it? Where can they buy it at?
You can go to any digital music source. Spotify is a great one to go to. Anywhere that sells digital music, it'll be there.
Now,
or you can go to johnnycollier.com, the website. A lot of people order it from there as well.
There you go. So, again, as we keep telling people, he has merch, people. He's got an album out, a CD out. You need to purchase that. Have you done anything vinyl-wise yet? Have you got vinyl?
I have not. I've thought of that. I know it seems like vinyl is making a comeback.
It has. It has. We do a vinyl show once a month where we spin vinyl, and we'll spend anything. We'll pick it like a genre or a theme, and we'll spin vinyl for 8 hours.
This month will be colors.
Yes. This
songs
month
about colors.
It's going to be all song, 8-hour show of songs with color involved in it. It's weird. So we've done songs just about the 70s or whatever, but some of our biggest hits are on the vinyl shows. And if we have vinyl from our artists, we play them. Like we just did a 24-hour vinyl show. 24 hours, kids.
I had to
Memorial
put up with
Day
him
weekend.
for 24 hours. Can you
Yeah.
imagine that?
Oh,
You're lucky you're still living.
Oh, man. Can you imagine we had Brian, him, and I in the same room for 24 hours? You know,
I've got a small collection that they had to, find the music.
Well, they
from.
covered up your scars really well. Both of y'all look good.
Again, we have a makeup sponsor. So, but yeah, so vinyl is a very popular thing. So if you ever get vinyl out, man, we got to make sure we get that, because it's becoming real popular again. But it's expensive. They need to come down on the price of vinyl.
Speaking of vinyl,
Let's talk vinyl.
I just got a email from a person in Texas who's going to press a single 45
Yes.
of my song
Yes.
for our vinyl show.
Isn't that cool? Jason's going to have his own vinyl. You know, I was on vinyl a long time ago, right after we went from Stone. We went from Stone to vinyl.
I thought you were on the cylinder first.
Well, I wasn't going to date myself that bad. But vinyl's a cool thing. We used to have it hanging up here, my very first vinyl I ever was on, and have a piece of vinyl with your name on it. It's just way cool. It didn't do anything. It didn't go well. It didn't sell much at all. But for 4 days, we were the number one song in the area on the local AM station. So I was king of the hill at that point. But that's cool. So check out the new album. It came out November 1st of 2019. Again, people support this. You got 12 tracks on it. I see the name Billy Lawson. Is this the Billy Lawson from? Is he the Muscle Shoals? Billy Lawson?
Yeah,
Is he?
that's him. And him and I are almost exactly the same age, and we met years ago and just became real close friends. And
That's cool.
he's had a great career writing songs. You know,
Yeah.
he's had several cuts.
Now, is Billy opening or redoing a studio down there, Muscle Shoals?
He is in business. It's Wishbone Studio. It's
Yeah.
by the airport in Muscle Shoals. A part of my album was cut there.
Okay.
I've got a studio at my house as well, but we carried it over there and finished about half of it, I guess, over there. It's Hank Jr. recorded there, Roy Orbison, several people. It's a great studio. If you
Excellent.
need any work done, contact him there.
Excellent.
Yeah, Sammy Kershaw's latest song, Fred, my friend Fred, was cut there.
Oh, wow.
And Billy and Ed Hill wrote that song together.
That's pretty neat. That is way cool. Now, your partner in crime, Dallas has been.
yeah.
You got to give him some props, because I don't hear just your name. I always hear your name and her name synonymous with each other.
Dallas is my wife. We've been together several years, and she's kept me going and kept me from checking out, I guess you'd say. But she's in the back taking care of things. And over on the drums, Roger Galver. Y'all please welcome him to the show.
Hey, Roger.
And on the bass guitar, another good friend of mine, Mr. Jerry Patrone.
How you doing, Jerry?
But,
So, how long have you guys been together?
me and Roger been together, a year? About that? just shy of a year, and Jerry's been with us about 2 months.
Oh, he's the kid.
2 days.
He's the new guy.
Yeah, he's the new guy, which we knew each other about a year ago we met, and we finally started working together. But I've never met anybody, nicer than what he is. I don't know what he's like when I'm not around him, but he's been great to me, and I'm proud to have him with the band.
That is awesome. Well, Johnny, we got people screaming for a song, so let's go ahead and satisfy your group out there.
All righty. Well, this next song is called "This Old Driveway." I've got a writing partner, lives in Huntsville, Alabama, named Keith Owens, and this song is just about how it is when you're country boys, and it's called "This Old Driveway." I've got a studio at my 1, 2, 3. Took a drive by the old home place where I was raised. Memories started pouring in as I turned into the driveway. When I saw the rundown house, it occurred to me a lot about life was learned in this old driveway. I remember Mom watching me and Dad working on his truck. I reckon that's really where I first learned to cuss. Many a time Mama tanned my hide to show me the right way. I learned a lot about life in this old driveway. It's where I turned my first wrench, where I learned how to drive, where Daddy explained to me about the facts of life. It's where my first taste of heaven led me astray. I learned a lot about life in this old driveway. By the age of 17, there was nothing you could tell me. I had a fast car and girls sitting next to me. You know it's just how it is when you know it all. You got to learn the hard way. I learned a lot about life in this old driveway. It's where I turned my first wrench, where I learned how to drive, where Daddy explained to me about the facts of life. It's where my first taste of heaven led me astray. I learned a lot about life in this old driveway. Looking back, you know I wouldn't change a thing. I learned a lot about life in this old driveway. Yeah, thank you much.
That's also another track off the same album, Love Me For Who I Am. Now, that album, 11 different countries, that's currently what's playing your album?
Yeah, I think was it 14 or 15 we counted up, but it's somewhere going on 15 different countries.
13 countries.
13 countries.
Yeah.
This in 13 countries. Thank you guys for out there supporting Johnny Collier and his music. So we appreciate it. We have a big overseas presence too. So anybody that's out there, get Johnny's music. It's good in all languages. So
Some of them probably know me. I know I started out with a record, MMG Records, and we've done a lot of stuff in the UK and Australia and Germany and Netherlands,
Wow.
all over. So I'm sure someone's familiar once they think back on it.
now, just in 2019, if I'm reading this right, 203 concerts in 9 states.
Yeah.
You were a busy young man.
I told my wife, we're getting close to the end of the year, I said, I'm not wishing anything bad. I said, but I'll be glad when the end of the year gets here. I need a rest, But
People don't realize how hard work that is, though. That's a lot of work.
It is, and that's not counting your drive time to get there.
Right.
You know, I mean, by the time we drive to Virginia on the East Coast and go to D.C., and then we go to New Mexico, we go up right at the Canadian border, and we done one tour 6 weeks long right at it. And we went on to California and then come back through Bakersfield, come down. We had a couple of pretty long trips, but it takes time to get there and then set up and do your shows and then get to your next state. You know?
Oh, yeah. It's cool, but it's a lot of hard work. People don't see that end of it. They see what you're doing right now and go, man, that's cool, I want to do that. And they don't realize the work and the dedication and the effort. And I think that's what makes you a better player is, you know, the sacrifices that we have to go through to do that. My last tour, we left here at 4:15 in the morning. We didn't get to our next place for 21 hours. Our first stop was 21 hours. And we were learning the songs in the back of the bus as we were traveling. That's a little scary. But like, hey, we need a drummer. We're bringing you tomorrow. Great. You know, and 24 songs that you never heard of, you had to learn. So, but you know what? It makes you a little sharper musician. You have that pressure every day, that not just to play. That's the fun part. It's that pressure to get there, get set up, any mechanical things that go wrong, a mic cable, simple stuff. You know, your guitar tuner goes out, you know, simple stuff, a chord. Yeah.
I always carry an extra piece, whatever it is. Carry an extra cable, carry an extra tuner.
Exactly. So life on the road is cool, but it's a lot of work.
Couple quick shout-outs. We do have Clayton from WKOM FM station in
Columbia,
Tennessee, listening.
KOM, WKOM.
Yes. We also have Chris in Canada, which says hi and great song.
Thanks.
Let's see. And Kathy Lynn Michaels is back with us again.
Excellent.
My cousin Ruth from Adrian, Michigan. She's enjoying the show.
Hello, Ruth.
I don't want to.
Wayne Black is on.
Wayne Black, oh man, bless his heart. We love Wayne. I don't want to sound rude, but I have way too many to name off.
I understand,
so
yeah.
I am just going to say thank you guys for all of you that are sitting here watching the show. I'd love to send waves to you all, but my thumb would wear out. So thank you. Keep doing that. Share the music. Again, we got Johnny Collier from Muscle Shoals via Missouri and Texas and all that good stuff, but he's from Muscle Shoals, Florence area right now. So support him. We're absolutely loving everything we're hearing so far. But 209 concerts or 203 concerts in the United States, to me, that was impressive in 2019. On top of having your aneurysm the same year, right? Was the same year?
The year before.
Year before it was, okay. Wow. So you had nothing else to do, but you might as well just go ahead and make an album at the same time.
I felt bad, but I thought I might as well. It needed to be done, so I got in there, and luckily I made it through it.
That's great.
And I was the Lord smiled on me, that's for certain.
That is way, way cool. So now the Muddy Water Publishing, is that you or is that someone that you're affiliated with?
It's someone we're affiliated with, and they picked up my songs, and we said, hey, we like the sound of the name, and so we went with it.
Well, good. Well, pick another song. I'm guessing you're going to stay on the same album.
Yeah, I wrote this next song. I'd always heard I got this. Hey, man, I got this, you know. And I work construction and different things. So finally one day the idea came to mind, and I've got a friend named Doug Morgan. I hope he's tuning in. He works for a metal company. But we wrote this song together, and it sounds like this.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, and... I never was one to follow the rules. Always had something better to do. Ask anybody, they'll tell you the same. Soon as they hear my name, I know Mama sure had it rough. Good thing my daddy was there to be tough. I had her crying on many nights. He always told her it would be alright. Said, I got this under control. I got this. Yeah, I won't let go. I got this. I got just what you need. Have a little faith in me. I got this. I'm not too proud of some things that I've done, but once you do them, they can't be undone. I guess I'm lucky to be alive. You don't know that when you're living high, it sure feels good coming home. I never straightened out on my own. They wouldn't have me back, I was willing to bet. But when I showed up, all that he said was, I got this under control. I got this, and I won't let go. I got this. I got just what you need. Have a little faith in me. I got this. I got a call late last night. Said, it's your daddy's son, something ain't right. You better get here as fast as you can. They're calling on the family in. What I felt, I couldn't say. Couldn't find the words, I just started to pray. I talked to Jesus like a long-lost friend. He opened up his arms and he took me in and said, I got this under control. I got this. I won't let go. I got this. I got just what you need. Have a little faith in me. I got this. He said, I got this. Whew. Yeah, thank y'all.
I do have one more shout out that I forgot.
Okay.
My son, Austin, and his entire squad is listening.
Well,
Cool.
again,
Good to
thank
see
you for your
Austin.
service, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Be careful out there. We love you guys to death out there. So, man, time is slipping away, man.
It is very quickly.
It is gone fast, you know. And why is it like that? Why is we get people that we want to just talk to for like the whole night, and it's just like zips right by?
Well, I think it's because they're always interesting. Unlike when I have to sit here and talk to you for an hour.
I know. Thank God we got guests. Thank God we got guests. That's probably why. So we got time for one more. I'm really hoping you pick the one I hope you do. What song would you like to finish off with?
Well, we've got a song called Never Really Famous.
Yes. Yes. You picked the right one, Johnny. You win. Tell him what he's won, Jason.
And the whole title is You're Never Really Famous Until You Make the Bathroom Wall.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
But how this came about was we were going to work one night. It was a Friday night. It was in Tennessee, I think. And we pulled into the club, and the sign was so messed up. There was letters all over it, but you couldn't read a single word. You know, you couldn't tell where you were at, name of the place, name of the band, what time it started, or anything. You know, and my name wasn't spelt right or anything, because I've been, pulled up in different states, and it's Johnny Collier, it's Johnny Collier, Johnny Collier. In Key West, they couldn't even say Collier. So I'm used to it being off, but there you couldn't even make out a single word.
Right.
And I looked at my wife. I said, "You're never really famous till you make the bathroom wall." So, and later that night when I got home, I finished writing that song.
There, love it.
1, 2, 3. I've seen my name in lights where not many came at all. And I've played the crowded beer joints where it wasn't up at all. It doesn't matter where you see it or who makes the call. You'll never really famous till you make the bathroom wall. They misspelled it on the marquee. They've completely left it off. I'll sign t-shirts, skin records. Lord knows I've done it all. Well, on a bad night, I get the credit. Hey, when it's good, they take it all. You'll never really famous till you make the bathroom wall. In some highfalutin places, they don't remember me at all. But I'm there under fresh paint. Yeah, you'll see me when it peels off. What counts is the thought, hey, I should be honored just to make a stall. 'Cause you'll never really famous till you make the bathroom wall. They misspelled it on the marquee. They've completely left it off. I've signed t-shirts, skin records. Lord knows I've done it all. Well, on a bad night, I get the credit. But when it's good, they take it all. You'll never really famous till you make the bathroom wall. What counts is the thought, hey, I should be honored just to make a stall. You know you'll never really famous till you make the bathroom wall.
Johnny Collier with us tonight, and the band. We got Roger and Jerry playing with him. I'm going to, real quick before we close, I want to just read off some of your stats here.
All right.
Dallas has given us a little sheet here. The little stats here is Spotify. This number is really cool. 17,000 streams plus.
It's been doing well. It's gaining every day.
13 countries, 80% from listener-owned playlists. Mm-hmm. That's amazing. And that's at the time this was written.
December 31st.
So this is, what, 5 months? Yeah, 5 months old. So it's even higher than that. Collective streams over approximately 25,000 collective streams.
Doing good so far. I'm proud of it.
Man, that is incredible. Go ahead, Jensen.
Never Really Famous. This album is number 2 in the world's country music charts.
On the indie side.
On the indie side.
Yeah. Also, Never Really Famous, the video. I love this one. Has over 11,000 views. That's really cool, man. You got a lot of stuff going on. The one that kind of shocked me, though, because of the age we're living in here, you're in a magazine featured in Millennial Magazine, the world-leading magazine for readers aged 20 to 40. Yeah, that's a young group, man, that's listening to people our age playing it, man. That's a great thing. That's the one kind of shocked me a little bit.
It's out of California, and it's a major magazine. Beyonce knows, I think. Was she on the same? She's on the same subscription that I was when they done interviews on both of us.
Yeah, but you know who really got all the credit, though? Who got all the publicity? It was you.
Yeah,
it was me.
Beyonce went, dang, I was on the wrong episode, the wrong issue.
Right.
You're going to have to
Beyonce's
Beyonce's name wasn't on the bathroom walls. Johnny's is.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Hers
I
was
hear
on.
ya.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great.
I think my name's been on a wall somewhere. It was a wanted poster.
Yeah. It's usually hanging from the post office.
It happens.
Yeah. Well, Johnny, you got a lot of great stuff going on. Man, we could just keep rolling with this. I do want to say, Jason, and back me up. Johnny's business card, is that Johnny or is that a Ronnie Millsap on there? Man, you look a lot like Ronnie Millsap in that picture.
I've had a few people say that over the years, and they compared me to Ronnie Millsap, Charles Bronson, and
Yeah, I can see that.
And,
I can see that.
And Ronnie Dunn. I've had, similar, different hairstyles. I guess it depended on what day it was and what I was wearing.
Well, you're Johnny Collier to us.
Pete Austin actually took that in Muscle Shoals at Rally at the River about 7 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a live shot.
Next
That's
week's
pretty cool.
guest, John J. Kennedy, will be our guest.
Yes,
next
finally. Bless his heart. We had to postpone him because of all the possible protesting going on here. So John is going to be here. Thank you, John, for being patient with us. Speaking of Johnny, thank you so much for driving all the way up here from Florence and bringing Jerry and Roger with you guys.
I appreciate them coming.
Dallas, thank you for all your support because it's that behind you is what makes and breaks
It
a
is,
lot
exactly.
of bands.
Yes.
It is.
And from what I've always heard from Brian, our IT guru, our own man, he has raved about Dallas from the day I heard how strong she is and how good she is. Boy, a lot of people, you need to give a clinic of what you do. A lot of people need to know how to do what you do.
I keep trying to hug and kiss on Brian. He just won't let me.
Jason tried to do the same thing, and Brian won't let him either.
No, I've never tried to hug and kiss on him.
You patted him on the butt once. I saw it.
I may have done that.
Okay. Sorry, Brian.
Oh, that's it. We're in his club.
So, people, get yourself a strong support staff, and people out there that are supporting these artists, they need all the attention and love that they can get. It's a hard business. So please support them. People out there that's got money in your pockets and credit cards, jump on any of the social media streams, buy Johnny's music. I'm sure he's going to absolutely appreciate it. It costs him money to drive up here from Florence to get here, so pay for his way back. I want him to go back home and see that he's made some money. So worldwide, people jump on there, Spotify. Look for Johnny Collier music, especially with the new album that just came out, Love Me For What I Am.
Yeah.
And
What is the
then,
website?
JohnnyCollier.com.
That makes sense.
Brian,
Okay. Okay. Brian wants to make a comment.
okay. Brian, you want to say something?
Yeah, we're already breaking rules anyways here, going over the hour. But we dropped off with Heat FM, but we're just going to break rules for a minute. I just think this is important. I don't ever talk. I want to dedicate this show to a lifelong friend out there, Mr. Michael Hallmark, which I know Johnny knows.
Yep.
He is the reason that I was influenced by the live music, particularly getting to meet Johnny. And we was at his shows years ago every Saturday, and it's what really started this whole thing for me, being inspired to be around musicians. And I want to thank him, and I want to thank Johnny, most importantly, for being there all these years as a friend and as an entertainer. Thank you so much, Johnny.
You're very welcome. Let's do another 50 years.
I hear you.
Absolutely.
And for the two guys you just mentioned, Johnny and the other gentleman, because of you guys, we got to meet Brian. So that started this radio station.
And now
so,
he's stuck with us.
Yeah. So we appreciate it. It's kind of cool how the circles start. So thank you guys for making the long journey up here. We appreciate it. And Johnny, stay healthy. You're kicking butt. We need to see you again. Let's do this, in, like you say, in the next 50 years. Let's do a reunion show.
That works.
Let's not wait for 50 years to do another
That's
one.
right.
Let's do several, but let's schedule one.
Yeah, once a year.
Yeah,
Very
let's
good.
schedule at least another one. So, Johnny, you take care. Again, we are probably already signed off from heatfmradio.com because we went over the time. But, hey, they got a good hour out of us. So, for Lisa T down at alabamajams.com, who's still with us, let's just go around the room. Roger, Jerry, Johnny, Dallas. I don't even know her name. Christina. Now, she is your wife. Okay. And then we got the Colorado Kid, Steve. We got Rebecca Velvet Presley. We got Jason, the Hillbilly Heartthrob, Brian, the IT Guru. I am Mark, your DJ Doctor. Thank you, Johnny Collier. Everyone, we'll see you next week. Y'all take care and be safe. Bye-bye.
Thank you for having us.
All right, we're dead in water.
That was worth the wait.
Thank you very much.